one of the legends that have become famous within the last 50 years. It is an urban legend told in the Philippines. Once upon a time, a lady lived with her family named Maria. During that period of time, money was so important, so she was forced to work in a condition where she also needed to work in order to run the family. She gets an offer to be a caretaker in Canada. There, she needs to look over an old man and take care of him. Maria accepted that offer and moved to Canada. Maria and the elderly man became friends. The old man's health began to deteriorate. The elderly guy called Maria and presented her with a black stone as he lay dying. According to the reports, Maria was instructed to swallow the stone by the elderly guy. However, it is only mentioned in a few stories. In all versions of this tale, Maria receives the black stone from the elderly man. It is typical. Following the old man's passing, she then relocated to the Philippines. Her husband began to notice that she was acting differently. Sometimes, when she thinks of the elderly man, she even starts crying. She even began to spend more time in her room. She was hardly out of the room. She even ceased communicating with the family members. After a long day, her spouse one day returned home. That evening, Maria had prepared some beef. He questioned Maria about it after seeing their kids were missing while he was eating. "They were there," Maria continued, pointing to the dining table. He asked her again, but they weren't present. "They were here," she added, pointing to the plate. When he discovered that Maria had slaughtered the kids and cooked the meat with them, he was astounded. Angry, he grabbed the Labo, a meat-chopping knife, and scratched Maria's face with it. The name Maria Labo was chosen for such purpose. He then proceeded to retrieve his firearm from the locker in order to shoot Maria, but she managed to flee via the house's window in the interim. She reportedly remains in the jungle. She picked up a lot of magic tricks. Through the use of magic tricks, she would transform into a different person and consume everyone who happened to walk through the area where she resides. The other versions of the story claim that Maria traveled to England in order to work for a vampire. Only her actions and characters alter in accordance with the plot because of that vampire. Another version claims that Maria was murdered in the workplace where she began her career. Maria's irate spirit was the object that returned to the Philippines. However, the stories in the first are well known online. Only the first story serves as the basis for the remaining stories. Looking at the story's beginnings, we may claim that this legend just gained popularity half a century ago. Because women from the Philippines began relocating abroad to assist with employment around that time. This tale may be based on a woman who traveled overseas to work. People also believe that this urban legend may be genuine up until a certain point. The part that is mentioned after Maria returns to the Philippines may be a made-up story, but the part that is said before that may be accurate. This point is only heard from person to person because there is no tangible proof to support it.